So there she is, little Florence. That makes it look like she's dead. She isn't, she's alive and well. But this is my first video on my build of Florence and how I got from the blank canvas little shell that she was to my self-built camper van that she is today. I basically just put all the videos and photos that I've got into a little montage for you, and I'll talk you through how I got there and what I did and everything in between, really. First and foremost, I had to really strip her back. She was so rusty and so filthy, absolutely filthy when I got her. So my first job was to sort that out. To do that, I sort of took as much of her apart as I could to get a feel for what I was working with. And those blue panels were one of my first jobs. But before all of that, I had to put some new tyres on her, and I treated her to some little wheel trims to give her a little bit of an edge. But the rust in that footwell was a little bit worrying, so I had to quickly get some stuff for that, and what I bought was crust, which did the trick perfectly. And then once I'd done that, I bought some spray paint, and I literally spray painted everything and everywhere with rust treatment spray, which has done the trick. So those blue panels, which I was just saying was my first job, what I wanted to do was give them a bit of a quirky feel to them, a little bit of colour, but I needed it to be practical as well. So I bought some PVC, which is wipe clean, and I upcycled them like a little cheeky upcycle. So I padded them out, put the new PVC material on, and then staple gunned round them, just for a bit more support, which in time would go into the back of the van. And I was really pleased with them, actually, really chuffed with how they came out. And that was the start of it. That was my exciting first challenge of the van after I'd given her that really big deep clean. And as you can see there, I've put them into the van just to sort of get a feel, and I really like them. Thought they looked quite good. So then I sort of had to go into loads of shops, and the amount of products that were there were just mind-boggling. But in the end, I found the stuff that I needed, which was a lot of spray paint. I spray painted near enough everything. I decided on grey in the end. Also put the panels in the front of the van as well, which I thought added a little bit of sunshine into the front. Next job was to insulate and do the electrics and the headliner. So I was off for a week and decided that they were the three things that I were going to do. And so I took the roof liner down, Molly helping out there, laid my material down and found that it was a perfect size, actually, really good. I couldn't have measured that better myself if I tried. Spray painted the back with a grey primer and put as much insulation in as I possibly could into every nook and cranny in the van. That stuff is really itchy, by the way, if you ever use it. Wear gloves, little tip. So sort of between doing the headliner and the insulation and the spray paint, sort of the back sort of came together, and look at that. That just is my favourite part of the van. Absolute favourite part. Really proud of myself for that. Then I had to start building the back, and I think this was week number 2. So I had to insulate the floor and put some ply down to give myself some sturdy working places. But I couldn't just do that. I had to sort of simultaneously put in the electrics and the bed frame, because I was having to run the electrics through the bed frame, if that makes sense. And I decided, well, I didn't decide, I just did it, really. I didn't use a tape measure and I didn't use a spirit level, so my bed frame is really wonky, but it works, and that's all that matters. So it was a test of patience to keep putting it in and out to make sure that it fit, and that my seats could go back, as you saw there, because my engine actually sits underneath my seats in the front, so obviously I have to be able to get in there. And then it was about deciding what I did with the bed frame. So I decided, as you can see here, that I was going to go for like a flip lid storage idea, and again having to keep putting it in and make sure that it fit and that the lids lifted and closed as smoothly as they could. And then whilst doing that, I had to put the electrics in around that and the brackets that would hold, basically where the lid flips out, it turns into the bed, and the brackets would hold that. So Gave it a look at varnish as well, as you can see there. It's really starting to come together at this point. Mum's helping me out, bless her. So at this point in time, everything's coming together really smoothly. But the biggest thing that I wanted, and one of the only things that I really wanted from the camper van, was a pull-out drawer to put a cooker in, which I managed to pull off. Look at that, how cute is that? And again, whilst this is all going on, I'm having to try and do the electric. So what I'm putting in here is the electric control panel, to be able to turn on and off the on and off the lights, basically. And I wanted it to look smart and cute and sort of go with the theme of the van. And the lights are working perfect. So sort of once the initial build was done, all the little other bits came together. So my little foliage and the cooker, the flooring that I put in there, just to A, it's wipe clean, but B, it just made it look that little bit smarter. And then my drawers with my little containers in there. Oh, look at them. And then the bedding. And these were the best purchase actually, because they just fit perfectly. Washable covers, and they fit in really nicely. And again, they fit in with the colour scheme. I was really chuffed with that. Added some bunting and a few little stickers. Quirkiness again. And then she was pretty much done. She was done after 2 weeks, really. 2 weeks of hard graft. And then just on the odd day off with me nan, just doing all the other little odds and sods, really, like the curtains, which I bought the curtains and then we edited them to fit the van. I basically just turned them up a little bit, basically. Added some hooks, and then they hook on at night time to make sure there's no beeping toms coming to see me. And then again, just more little quirky bits and pieces. I added AstroTurf to the front, make it look like a golf course, but some cheeky little cushions there with elephants on, and a cheeky little sunflower as well. So that is, from start to finish, how I built Flow. But just really quickly, I just want to thank absolutely everyone that has been involved in the build of Flow, because as much as I can say I've done it on my own, I couldn't have done it without so many other people's support, whether it be gifting me things, making me things, encouraging me, putting up with me talking about it constantly, listening to my ideas, giving me ideas, making pictures for the van, buying blankets for the van, and lending me things that I just needed to be able to put it all together to create this. So a huge thank you to absolutely everyone. I'm sure I won't stop talking about it, but what I think I need to ask everybody to do, and I'm not sure because I'm new to this, is I think I need you all to like and subscribe. Not really sure, but we'll give it a go anyway. So yeah, that's Flow, and sort of the next couple of videos I think will be of me out on some adventures, hopefully, fingers crossed. So stay tuned, I think is what I'm supposed to say.